If you're in the shower, listen up. How will I know when it's time to move up? That's always such a great question. Now, I can't tell you anything, right? Because I'm not your doctor. I don't know your situation, but I can tell you about me and what I do. People are always like, God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Here's the sitch. Don't think of the scale as part of a metric for that. And you're like, but AJ, that doesn't make sense. I get it. When I know that a dose is working for me, these are the 3 things that I look for. Now, when I say this, it's not like I'm thinking day to day or week to week. It's really over like a trend of like several weeks of time and data, okay? Because some days we're going to feel different than other days. It is causing us to have fullness longer, right? So that satiation. So if I'm getting fuller quicker when I'm eating, the medication's working. If I'm able to stay in my deficit of calories that I've calculated already in the TDEE calculator that's in my profile, if I'm able to stay there pretty easily where I'm not like panicking or it's super frustrated or I'm going over or whatever or going way under, it's working. And that food noise, right? That obsessiveness where I feel out of control, if that's not happening, it's working, right? As long as those 3 things are working, then eventually my body will do its thing by being in that healthy deficit. Now, as I go throughout the weeks and I feel like something's a little off, I always check what I call the foundation of health, right? This foundation that we need to keep solid and not slipping and cracking. I check that first before I move up, right? So I do a little checklist and I see if I'm still doing the things that I can control, my inputs, right? Because that's what we have control over, not the outputs, not the scale. So then I go, okay, am I drinking enough water? Holy crap, I'm not. Start doing that again, right? Because that's going to help you. Am I actually really tracking, or do I really not know what I'm consuming and how much I'm consuming? Maybe I need to figure that out again. Maybe I need to make sure my protein's up there again. Maybe I need to make sure my calories are good, right? Check that. How is my sleep? Guys, sleep is so crucial for our weight, for our brain, for our hormones, for our mental state, all of it. Am I sleeping 7 hours or more? Dang it, I need to improve that. Once, I swear to God, you improve that, so many things are helpful. So I check that, right? So I go down the list, right, of what I find my foundation to be. And I work on that, right? And then you might see some things change without even changing your dose, right? And again, remember, guys, you can have weeks of no movement in the scale, but your dose could be working, okay? Does that make sense? So it takes time and it takes a little trial and error and it takes a little bit of understanding and education. But it's super helpful because if we don't think about those things, what typically happens is we move up too quickly in a medication dose and our body's like, holy cow, what are you doing? Right? And maybe we're still dehydrated or whatever. And now we're feeling sick. And now we have, complications and side effects when in reality we could have stayed where we were, right? And just kind of worked on that foundation and felt better and then have movement eventually, right? Great explanation. I usually wasn't doing all those things, movement and water, but doc went up anyway. Right. And so here's the unfortunate thing too, guys, is we have to remember we can talk with our doctor, have that, talk and be like, hey doc, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I think I should be doing. Like advocate for yourselves. You're welcome.